Okay, so what are you saying, people, and welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel. So today, guys, we've got something a little bit different today. I'll be taking my first ever prop firm challenge and I'll be documenting the whole thing here on YouTube. I'll start recording for my first trade of phase 1 of the challenge all the way to eventually my payout. The goal of this series is to be as transparent as possible, sharing with you my thought processes, my decision making, how I implement my strategy, my risk management, my trading psychology, and much more. I'll be uploading maybe every week or every other week, depending on how active I am in the markets. Plenty of people always ask me for advice and tricks and tips when taking challenges. Well, here it is. Hopefully you guys will be able to learn a thing or two with this series. I'm taking the 100k challenge with my Forex funds. I did make sure to do thorough research before deciding which prop firm I went with. My Forex funds ticked most of the boxes. They're credible, pay out their traders, fair challenge rules, fair cost of challenge as well. I can hold overnight, hold over the weekend, although I do not plan to hold over the weekend, but it's nice to know that's a possibility. I can hold through news, which is very important to me as a swing trader, which holds trades for multiple days. I don't have to exit a trade early, and of course, a lot of my subscribers recommend them to me, so here we are now. So, how do I plan to pass the challenge and get funded? Well, first we must understand what the rules are, so let's take a look. So for phase 1, the target is 8%. Minimum trading days, 5. Maximum trading days, unlimited. Daily drawdown, 5% of equity, not balance, equity. And overall drawdown, 12%. And that's based on balance. For phase 2, we've got a 5% profit target. Minimum trading days, 5 days. Maximum trading days, unlimited as well. Daily drawdown, again, 5% of equity. Overall drawdown, 12%. So taking all of this into consideration and researching how other traders went about their challenges, I have molded my current trading strategy in terms of risk management and trade management to the challenge rules. I will still be using the same strategy I normally use in my personal trading. Feel free to check out my streams and my education playlist on my channel if you want to learn a bit more about that. However, in terms of my risk management, I'll only be risking 0.5% per trade, and I'll do this until I'm up 2%. Then with this 2% buffer, I can increase my risk to 1% per trade, and I'll do this until I pass the challenge. If I was to lose this 2% buffer and my account balance was to fall back to the original account balance of 100k or below, then I will reduce my risk back to 0.5%. And of course, I'll do this until I'm back up with that 2% buffer, then I'll increase it back to 1%. In terms of my trade management, I will only be having my TPs at 2R, twice my risk. So whenever I take a trade, all my TPs will be set at 2R. I don't normally do this in my personal account, but for this funding challenge, I want to make sure that I'm just taking winners and I'm increasing my win rate. So all my TPs will be set at 2R and I'll go to break even after 1R. So if I take a trade, it goes to 1R, I'll go to break even, won't take any partials. And then if it continues to my TP at 2R, obviously I get exited out of the trade with a win. If it does reverse back against me and it comes out, takes me at break even, we take the break even. But that will be the trade management system I use for every trade I take. I will also not allow myself to hold trades over the weekend, and the max positions I can have open at one time will only be one trade. I do this to boost my win rate, but also limit my drawdown. Now, the duration of the challenge is unlimited, so there's no need for me to be aggressive. So my primary goal is just to not lose the challenge, but then the secondary goal is obviously hit the profit targets. Now, it's currently Wednesday, the 26th of July. I bought the challenge a couple of days ago on the 24th or 23rd. You can check my Forex funds and it'll give the exact date. But I bought it a few days ago and I haven't taken a trade until this day. I took a trade about 4 or 5 hours ago on NZD USD shorts, and we'll go take a look at it now. Okay guys, so welcome to MT4. This is my NZD USD position, which is on my Forex funds 100k challenge. As you can see, 100k there on the left. This is the first trade of the challenge. Again, if I click through the account history, you can see nothing's actually there apart from the 100k deposit. So the first trade, we're gonna see how this goes. Entry was on the hourly time frame. I'll go into detail about the entry and the reason for the trade, but stop losses above there, take profit around 2R away. I did, however, miscalculate my lot size, which is a little bit of a blunder for me. I'm meant to be risking 0.5% per trade, which would be $500 per trade. I do understand that it won't be perfect. Sometimes it'll be a bit more than 500, a bit less than 500. But in this case, it's actually $710 for my stop loss, which is quite a bit bigger than I would have wanted. So I did kind of blunder there on the lot size calculation, but going forward, I will make sure I make amends to that mistake. Yes, the TP is a little bit bigger than a little bit bigger as well. Normally would be $1,000 if I'm risking 0.5 or 2R. $1,000 take profits is 1,300, so that's nice if it is a winning trade. But definitely if it's a losing trade, I'm not a big fan of that. And of course, I'm always thinking about the risk first, not necessarily the take profit. But yeah, that's my first trade so far. As you see, Traders Global demo 03 there. This is obviously the broker I'm using with my Forex funds, and this is the back end of it. So that's the trade itself. This is the my Forex funds kind of dashboard, the back end of the challenge. I'm gonna have to blur out my account details and the number and all that good stuff. But this is the account. As you can see, haven't really done anything yet. It's the first trade we've just taken. We got this trade. We bought this account on the 24th, so a couple days ago. No trades for me in the past 2 days. This is the first trade. But yeah, I did buy this account 2 days ago, and now I'm taking my first trade on it. We'll see how this goes. You can see up 0.03% of the day, but the trade's still running. That could easily be down $710. So we'll see how that progresses. But this is the back end. I'll keep you guys up to date with how everything pans out. And obviously, this is the trade itself. This is the trade I've taken on the hourly time frame, entry over there. This is actually the risk reward for my personal account. So obviously, I'm trading my personal account a little bit different to my funding account with the risk parameters I'm using, and with my take profits as well. With my take profits with my personal, I kind of play towards structure, what we are, depending on the setup. Sometimes it might be a 1 to 4, might be a 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So depending on the structure, I will alter my take profit. But for the funding account, I want to keep it at 2R, like I mentioned, keep it at 2R and break even at 1R. So this is the alert set for 1R. So when if price was to come down here and trigger it, I'll go break even on the challenge. And then my 2R is roughly around here somewhere, and that's where my TP is on MT4. So obviously that will take me out of the trade. So that's ideally what we want to see happen. But this is my actual trade that I've got on my personal account, which is going to be running as well. So yeah, this is the trade. The reason why I got in, price came into a very nice level of confluence. Be looking to short SDUSD all week. Nice little retracement into this level, broken support and resistance, nice trendline confluence there as well. Nice wicks to the upside, momentum failed, nice shift on the hourly time frame, which is what I was looking for. Got the shift in the trade, stop loss above the zone there, looking for a push to the downside, back into this low, and eventually I'm looking at a push into this low as well. High time frames, I do expect to see a big decline in the USD back down to this support eventually. So high time frames do look good. The market keeps failing to break through this resistance here. Let's change that to gray. So you keep failing to break through that resistance. So I'm expecting price to revisit this support down here. And the longer term trajectory of NZD/USD is very much south, as you can see. So I'm expecting that high time frame to kick back in. So again, I'm a swing trader. I'll be looking to swing these positions. Of course, this is kind of the trade I'm looking at my personal, but in my in the funded, I would just keep it 2R. I like to take the wins quickly, take the losses quickly as well, and just keep taking the best trades I can find. Okay guys, so it's currently the following day. It is Thursday the 27th of July, and I have been taking out of my NZD/USD position for a loss. Now this happened quite a few hours ago, early hours of the morning during the Asian session. I was asleep when I got taken out the trade. Big push to the upside. As you can see, this is the market here. We had some shorts on the hourly time frame. Here we did see some nice downside, however things never quite got going. Then we had the FOMC news, and again big push to the upside, and the market came back down. It's kind of a bit choppy, respected the resistance, and then during the early hours of the morning, like 1-2 a.m, big move to the upside, taking me out of the trade for roughly around $712, but plus commissions and swap, it comes out to roughly minus 728 there. So we're down roughly 0.7% on the account. Again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really too much of a bigger deal. We're taking small positions here. Obviously, extra $200 on the trade, not ideal, but again, people will be saying, why didn't you just manage it whilst the trade was open? I just thought might as well just see the trade through. Extra $200, not really a big of a deal. I have a big buffer. I'm risking 0.5% per trade. As long as I make sure my next trades are 0.5% or thereabout, I have roughly around 21 trades I can take losers in a row before I do blow the challenge. So I've got a lot of breathing room, and I just need to make sure that I'm just taking the best trades I can find and just making sure I'm managing my risk properly. So yeah, down 0.7% on the account. Again, this is the analysis on TradingView. We kind of had that fake out about the level I was selling from. Now the market is kind of bleeding back down again. We had some crazy dollar moves this week. Dollar's very weak, which obviously took the trade to the upside, but now dollar's strong again off the back of some more news. Now we're pushing down. So I'll look to see potentially tomorrow if you can retrace and then continue back down again. Sort of a bit of a head and shoulder pattern like so. So I'll keep an eye on the retest of that structure to potentially get back into the trade. But if we keep going, the train may have left the station, and I'll be looking at other opportunities elsewhere. So not really too bold if I don't get back into USD shorts, but from a higher time frame perspective, I am still quite bearish on this one. Still looking for a push to these lows. So if I can get back in at some point, doesn't have to be tomorrow, it could be next week. We will see if I can do that. A couple of other pairs I'm looking at, Euro Yen. Yen pairs are tanking to the downside quite aggressively. If we can get a nice candle closure below this wick low here, that'll tell me that, okay, this double top has played out. We've broken through the neckline of the pattern. Now I'm looking for the next pullback. We've got a good confluences here. We've got first test, second test, looking for the third one. We've got beautiful broken support. Now be turn resistance. If we can get a nice little pullback into this area, I will be looking for some shorts for continuations down. A really nice impulsive leg to the downside as well. So if we can take out those lows on the left, I'm going to be looking for some shorts. And Euro Swiss as well, looking for a pullback for this one. We're now showing a lot of signs of exhaustion. You can see that kind of tightly knit channel there. Market's kind of descending, struggling to push lower. So hopefully we can get a nice little push higher, next lower high somewhere around here, and get that continuation to the downside. Longer term, I'm still looking for Euro Swiss to come back and take these lows. So as a swing trader, for the foreseeable future, I'm just looking for the shorts, looking for lower highs and some good quality opportunities. There are a few other pairs I'm looking at as well, but I'm not going to run through all of them in this video and make it too long. But I'll keep an eye, and again, of course, if I do get into any other positions, I'll let you guys know. And this is, of course, the back end of the challenge on my Forex funds. Again, as you can see, down negative 728 there. Loss for the day 433. That's because it kind of ran over from Wednesday into Thursday. So it's not counting the full loss, just the loss that I took from the candle closure to when I got stopped out. As you can see, starting equity $704 because I was holding the position in loss for roughly around $300, and then the current equity is of course after the stop out. So my max stop out for the equity for 5% will be 94,718. So again, bunch of room to play with, but again the target's still 108 up there, so it's going to be a nice long journey, but we will get there eventually. So yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date how the challenge continues. But yeah, so far just one trade, one loss. Again, we all love an underdog story. I'm kidding. But again, you see a lot of challenges online. People just taking one trade and just passing challenges very easily, and taking the trade and passing a challenge within 15 minutes and all that good stuff. And again, that creates a really bad atmosphere around these challenges, kind of a bit like gambling. You know, if you gamble, you win once, suddenly you've got a 100k account to play with. But you know, trading like that, you're not going to sustain the account. So in my opinion, there's no real point doing that anyway, unless you've got the trading skills and you just want to gamble and try and pass as many challenges as you want, then feel free. But definitely for a person who's learning, which I feel like majority of people just try and buy challenges are, you know, make sure you focus on the skill set first, and not try and get caught up in all the social media hype of buying challenges and quickly passing it. Because even if you do pass it, you probably won't keep on to it. So there's no point doing it anyway if you're not going to keep hold of the account. But yeah, guys, we'll keep you up to date with how the account goes. But yeah, negative so far, but be sure to turn around that to positive. So stay tuned.